An X-ray reveals a child's permanent teeth waiting beneath the baby teeth. A Muscu woman from Chad wears an enormous ceremonial lip plate around 1930. An Indian ascetic wears an iron collar designed to prevent him from lying down in the 1870s. Cats undergo training at a French space laboratory in Paris in 1963. A 1960s German cookbook pairs bananas with pickled herring. Nikola Tesla X-rayed his own leg with equipment he built in 1896. A 1977 advertisement offers a computer with a 10-gigabyte hard drive for $5,995. A dinosaur model travels by helicopter to Boston's Museum of Science in 1984. Which detail makes this photograph feel most surreal? Robert Melvin, known as the man with two faces, lived with severe neurofibromatosis. A German mother pushes a stroller while wearing a gas mask in 1942. London's four-penny shelters offered coffin-like beds to the homeless around 1900. Wrestling pioneer Mildred Burke files her nails while holding a reporter in a headlock in 1953. The Lockheed XFV-1 vertical takeoff fighter stands balanced on its tail in 1954. British pilots test experimental asbestos suits during the 1940s. The world's largest typewriter goes on display at the 1940 New York World's Fair. A car flies across a gap during an El Paso stunt in 1922. Would you have believed this scene without the photograph? Enslaved people stand chained together in Zanzibar in 1865. Convicted nurse Maria Fikichkova reenacts part of the investigation into newborn deaths in 1961. A street burns during the height of the Belfast riots in 1978. Bruce Gilden's confrontational street portrait captures a striking New Yorker in 1989. A clamp holds a patient's eye open during an 1870 cataract surgery demonstration. A doctor aligns a 2 million electron-volt X-ray machine for a cancer treatment in 1956. An Evel Knievel impersonator launches a bicycle over spectators in the 1970s. Serial killer Dennis Rader poses with his daughter in 1993. What would you have noticed first if you were there? A supposed French freak show performer was exposed as a hoax after 6 years. Activists nominate a pig named Pegasus for president in Chicago in 1968. Dutch children play beside American artillery shells in 1944. Contestants compete for the title of Miss Cigar Queen in 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 1937. 19 Chinese Americans protest shipments of scrap iron to Japan in 1939. A woman crushes grapes barefoot in Frascati, Italy in 1957. A rare profile reveals the large neck tumor hidden by Kim Il-sung in the late 1980s. Rebecca, Charles, and Rosa, children freed from slavery in New Orleans, are photographed in 1864. Does this image change how you picture the era? Berlin children built towers from banknotes made worthless by post-war inflation in 1920. Detroit police officers compete as a tug-of-war team in 1991. Anita Ekberg confronts persistent paparazzi with a bow and arrow in 1960. French women accused of collaboration are publicly shaved in 1944. A 1937 newspaper reports newlyweds discovering they were brother and sister. Winston Churchill models an astonishing variety of hats across his public life. Special effects supervisor John Fulton performs beside a miniature ship set in 1956. Iran's women's national soccer team poses together in 1976. Which part of this story deserves a closer look? A concealed camera built into a ring served Soviet espionage in the 1960s. Rebecca Romijn undergoes the elaborate Mystique makeup process for X-Men in 2000. A 1905 portrait shows just Joe in his unusually formed hand. An 1896 medical photograph documents a large enchondroma near the shoulder blade. Police attack participants at an early LGBT march in New York in 1970. An interpreter reacts to Donald Trump's claim about American and Roman-era Italian alliances in 2019. The richly paneled first-class cabin aboard Titanic in 1912. Marcus Wayne Chenault Jr., who killed Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother, is escorted away in 1974. Would this scene be possible today? 13-year-old Cher appears at a police station after borrowing her mother's car in 1959. During Britain's 1972 power cuts, a woman eats by candlelight opposite Ironbridge Station. Australian soldiers expose a Turkish sniper disguised as a bush in 1916. Violet Hilton was denied a marriage license because her conjoined twin Daisy would share the marriage. 1934. The immense Codex Gigas, nicknamed the Devil's Bible, is the largest surviving medieval manuscript. A bear unexpectedly joins riders on an amusement park attraction in 1961. Salvador Dali helps bandage a dancer at California's Hotel Del Monte in 1941. Pope John Paul II meets Mehmet Ali Agha, the man who shot him, in 1983. What do you think happened immediately afterward? A woman dries her hair over an open oven in 1958. An opium gathering photographed in France during 1918. Eleanor Roosevelt carries a .22 pistol after declining Secret Service protection in 1934. Twins Juan and Martina de la Cruz were promoted as the world's smallest people in 1904. The first Ms. Olympia contest gave a female bodybuilders a world stage in 1980. Two photographs taken 66 years apart contrast Niagara's tightrope era with the space age. A skater demonstrates the compact roller skates of the 1970s. Workers remove roughly 130 tons of rubbish from a dangerously packed apartment. Which detail makes this image unforgettable? Centro Universitario, Mexico basketball uniforms created an unfortunate English acronym in the 1980s. A 1950 New Zealand bus carries baby strollers in an unusual front compartment. A whites-only bench divides public space in apartheid South Africa in 1958. Antarctic snow? Cruiser designer Thomas Poulter stands beside one enormous tire in 1938. Andre the Giant makes a 12-ounce beer can look miniature in 1981. A psychiatric patient is photographed in Kerala, India, in 1901. Grady Stiles Jr., born with ectrodactyly, came from a family known as lobster people. Two Aberdeen children stand beside their 17-foot snowman in 1963. Does this photograph feel more strange or unsettling? Looters carry furniture through the streets during New York's 1977 blackout. The collapsed Tasman Bridge stands broken over Australia's Derwent River in 1975. A portrait presents an ideal of Persian beauty from the early 1900s. A 1950s advertisement promises freedom of movement with action pants. British illusionist Jeffrey Atkins performs an airport stunt at Heathrow in 1971. A precarious rope bridge crosses the river at Rampur, India, around 1870. A 1919 medical photograph documents extreme hydrocephalus and diplegia. British wrestler Ivy Russell trains at Lane's Club in London in 1934. What question would you ask the people pictured here? A crew works with a full-size dinosaur during the filming of Jurassic Park in 1992. Motorcyclists and their girlfriends gather with Harley Davidsons in 1979. A British sign records the liberation of Bergen-Belsen concentration camp in 1945. A crowd protests racial integration in American schools in 1959. A researcher holds the skull of a person affected by hydrocephalus in 1950. A 1970 animal experiment investigates the connection between smoking and cancer. Tightrope performer Bellini plunges toward the Niagara River in 1873. A visual comparison shows how industrial chickens grew between 1957 and 2005. Could a modern photograph capture the same atmosphere? Actress Donna Drake playfully aims a rifle from her Los Angeles balcony in 1942. Hunters pose with a captured gorilla in Congo around 1925. Post-war Messerschmitt factories produced tiny three-wheeled cars instead of fighter aircraft. A Tour de France mechanic oils a cyclist's chain without stopping the race in 1949. A white crowd attacks a civil rights supporter in St. Augustine during the 1960s. Children burn Soviet propaganda during the Hungarian uprising in 1956. A 1943 safety display includes protective armor and a rigid plastic bra for female war workers. A dog dressed as a man poses with a cat seated on its lap in the 1950s. Which detail reveals the period most clearly? The same British regiment is photographed before and after World War I. Pearl Rambo, promoted as the world's heaviest girl, reportedly weighed 276 kilograms at 14. Hachiko waits at Tokyo's Shibuya station in 1933. Jean Crane sharpens an axe while a turkey watches nervously in 1946. Fidel and Raul Castro handle a bazooka during the Cuban Revolution in 1958. English children turn the outside of an apartment block into a playground in 1978. Franco Columbu performs his upside-down bat pose while Arnold Schwarzenegger watches in the 1970s. A Viet Cong deserter demonstrates how guerrillas slipped through barbed wire in 1967. Would you have recognized the subject without the caption? Rows of retired B-17 bombers await scrapping in Arizona in 1945. Soviet soldiers struggle to stage a propaganda photograph with a frightened toddler in 1945. Police arrest suffragette Emmeline Pankhurst outside Buckingham Palace in 1914. A 1920s filling station advertises gasoline for 2 cents a gallon. Koryak warriors wear lamellar armor with retreat shields protecting their backs in 1901. A devoted American cat owner poses with her crowded household in the 1960s. A modern cruise ship towers over a scale comparison with Titanic. A young girl poses so perfectly that she resembles a display doll in 1895. What do you think the camera missed outside the frame? Tekka Turkmen posed in elaborate ceremonial clothing in 1868. Women demanding beer protest American Prohibition in 1933. The nuclear command briefcase used by Gorbachev and later Yeltsin. A Bedouin mother and child appear in the 1948 portrait Mother's Eyes. Thousands of Ku Klux Klan members marched through Washington, D.C. in 1926. An 1891 medical portrait records the visible effects of leprosy. A camera captures the instant of a failed aircraft takeoff around 1920. Inuit villagers haul a walrus home across Alaska in 1930. Which photograph in this collection surprised you most?